So let's see how I did this cute mushroom container using used candle containers. So firstly, I had this idea in my head with mushrooms. So I had this custom printed rice paper, and since I wanted to do like reverse decoupage, which means you're gonna see the image from the inside and from the outside as well, I firstly painted these with acrylic paints around, and as you can see, I even go inside the rice paper for better blending, so I could glue it later on onto the container. And make sure your container is, of course, grease free and fingerprints free. So use some kind of alcohol or something to clean your glass container before gluing your images onto it. So as you can see, I'm doing a little bit of shading as well, and now I am applying small dots on the rice paper as well. Then I let everything dry before continuing working on it. And the next step here will be tearing up this rice paper in few places, and I am using my glitter decoupage glue, so the little bit of the glitter will be seen from the inside as well. So I am applying the glitter glue onto the container. Then I am tearing up my rice paper in few places for better placement, as you can see here. And then I slowly started to glue with good amount of glue onto the container itself. Make sure you do apply a little bit of pressure on it, and if you see a wrinkle forming, just cut a little bit deeper into your rice paper and then let it dry. And this way I glued all my 4 images onto the container, and then I let it all dry before I continue working on it. And my next step here will be, of course, a little bit of painting, just a little bit of painting, or you can say blending here. Because I just wanted to match my images around my container. So I did a little bit of painting here and there. And then again, I let it dry before my next step, which will be now putting air drying clay onto the lid of my container, because I just needed to let it dry overnight. So I have this like 3 kind of mold, and I am putting my air drying clay into it, and then I am gluing it with express glue from Pentart. And after it is glued, I let it dry. As I was saying, I did let it dry over night here, and I am taking a little bit of the excess off because I just wanted to be on top of my container, because we need to put the lid on, right? So any excess of the clay, just take it off and then let it dry, of course. And if there are some cracks here, I don't mind, but still I let it dry in my fridge overnight. And now back to my container, and I am applying the beige paint because I use beige paint on my rice paper. So I am putting in between it as well. and then I decided to paint the whole container beige. And after this was dry, I just put white paint on it because I want to put another rice paper on, and white is the best way rice paper or napkin shows. So I did that and let it dry, and it's the next day and my air drying clay is dry, and I am applying brown paint on it, and I wiped off any excess of the paint with wet towel, and then I let the paint dry, and then I just sealed it with matte varnish before continuing working on it. Of course, I let the varnish dry, and now I am showing you what was I using these Stamperia molds, but right now I am making some mushrooms, and for this I am using stuff which are used for baking, but I am not baking. I am doing some mushrooms with it, and I just want to show you guys how I did it. Of course, I am sure out there are better people doing this, but for my purpose of decorating the lid, this will do. So I am just making some mushrooms, which I then, after I glue them together, of course with my express glue, I let them dry before I painted them. So I just let these dry, and the same way I did some small pumpkins. This is air drying clay, and I am making few little pumpkins which I wanted to put on there as well, and I let those pumpkins dry as well before continuing working on them, which means before I'm gonna paint them. So now my clay creations are drying, and it is time for more decoupage, and for this I'm using this custom printed rice paper with some other mushrooms on, and I'm taking them out of the rice paper with water pen because I like it more for better blending later on. Now I am tearing up the rice paper in few places for better placement onto the container, because as you can see the container is not classic round, and I am applying a little bit of decoupage glue under my rice paper, and then with a good amount of decoupage glue I am sealing it on to my container. And as you can see, I've seen a wrinkle is forming, so I'm cutting a little bit deeper into the rice paper itself, and then I am gluing it more. So, and this way there is no wrinkle there. And then I let it all dry, and after it is dry, it is time to paint. For this I am using these acrylic paints, but what I wanted to say is I'm showing you some of the acrylic paints because sometimes I even use some others or more, because I never know, what it will be used. So this is the way I'm doing it, and as you can see, I even went inside the rice paper for better blending, and now I am continue painting my container. And if you like this kind of videos, please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. It helps me grow. Also, please give me a nice comment or a thumbs up. And let me know if you like this kind of upcycling videos, because really this was a candle container, and well, I was thinking why to throw it out. Let's do something for a friend who likes mushrooms, and I hope she's gonna like this because it's gonna be a gift for her. And seriously, I am very happy how this one came out, because this is the image I had in my head, and usually it never goes the way I want it to go. So okay, now a little bit of shading as well, and for this I'm using small brush, a little bit of water, and my fingers. I always do it with my fingers, the shading part. And well, somebody is doing it only with the brush. I cannot do it with just a brush somehow, I don't know why. Okay, now I am using this acrylic paint, and I will be applying small dots on my container again. And as you can see, a little bit of water, acrylic paint, and a small brush, and there you go, some dots. I know that you are not seeing them, but believe me, they are there. They are visible. Well, the light is too much. And now I decided my wood lid needs something more, a little bit of more like colors or something. So I am applying those with a dabber which I used on my container. So I am just applying that, and then I let it dry, and now it is time to paint my mushrooms and pumpkins. So let's do that. I did oh my god, I did paint all of it, and the same way I did everything else, just applied a little bit of paint, and then I wiped off any excess of the paint with wet towel, and then I let it dry, my mushrooms and also my pumpkins. And as you can see here, I tried like it should somehow match my outside of my container. I mean, the mushroom should match the outside of my container. So this is the way I was going for. As you can see, I am wiping off any excess, and I know this is a longer video, but please bear with me. I wanted to really show you each step I used. And now I am applying again some dots on to my mushrooms, and then I let it dry, all of it. And here I am painting my little pumpkin, and you can see it is messy, my fingers are messy, but this is the way decoupage goes. You have glue, paint, clay, everything on your fingers. Okay, so my pumpkin, I'm doing the same way, and a little bit of brown paint as well. Just so the pumpkin will be pumpkin, and then I let it dry. And now it is time to seal my container. So firstly, I'm applying glitter decoupage glue all over my container. And then after this, when this is dry, I will be sealing it with my pouring glaze, and I applied four layers of this. Let it dry between each layer, and I sealed my top with matte varnish again. So here I am applying the glaze, And as I was saying, let it dry between each layer. Make sure there is no excess, because as excess will not dry out clear, it will dry out white. And here I am putting matte varnish on my wood, then part of my lid, before continue working on it. And the next step will be sealing my mushrooms and pumpkins. Yes, we have to seal those too. So firstly I seal them with matte varnish, but later on you will be seeing what I did, so they will not be so fragile. And now it is time to glue them. One mushroom I couldn't glue on my base because it was a little bit too much, so one mushroom will be used for something else. And here, yeah, you can see my mushroom is falling, so it needs more heavy body gel, which I put on. And then of course I used my molds as well, because I just wanted to add some leaves and some flowers as well. And technically it gave a good base to my mushrooms, so I didn't have to hold them, because the heavy body gel would put them in place, but I will had to hold them a little bit longer, which I didn't want it to do. So I am just gluing some leaves on my wooden base, and of course some flowers and other stuff. And now this is all dry, and it is time to seal the to paint the rest. So my flowers, I put a little pumpkin there. I am not sure if you can guys see it. And this is the same way. Paint and wipe off any excess of the paint with wet towel. And I painted the leaves green, and I went even inside, because the leaves were even inside, even if you cannot see it technically from outside. But if you get a closer look, there would be this white clay showing, and I don't like it. So I did go even inside where my biggest mushroom is. And after everything here was painting, the next step was seal it with hard varnish, which makes them not so fragile. And I applied 2 layers, and that give them a nice shiny look, which I wanted to be like it is a ceramic or something, like a china, if you know what I mean. And well, you can stop here and everything will be done, but I wanted to add a little moss on it, and for this I use these from Pentart, and this is the way you apply them. You just apply them on where you want them, and then you I would say seal them or dry them with heat gun, because they need to be sealed this way. And I did that, but careful, heat gun is hot, and this is a small area to do, so careful when you are doing this. And technically we are done, and I hope guys you enjoyed this video. Here is a closer look so you can see it up close, my mushroom container. I hope you like this video. And again, if you did, please do give me a nice comment or a thumbs up. Please check out my other videos, and next one will be probably another Christmas in July one. So thank you so much for watching until the end to see the end result, and until next time soon, bye bye.